Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. In this episode on the Beginner's Agility series, we're going to talk about front crosses. Now, when you're on an agility course, at some point you're going to need to change the side of the side that your dog is on. So basic courses will often have it, well, they say it all on one side. So maybe the course is set up so the dog follows you all on the left side. But as you advance, most courses will have at some point you need to switch sides. You need to switch it so that your dog goes from being on your left side to your right side. And that's when you need crosses. There are various forms of crosses. The basics are front cross, blind cross and rear cross. But there are some variations in there as well, which we will look at later on. Now, the front cross is probably where most people begin. And I would say it's one of the earliest types of crosses that anybody gets taught, and also probably one of the more fundamental moves that people got taught for doing tight turns especially. Now people are expanding on blind crosses, so we can add them to tight turns, but certainly initially if you did a tight turn and you needed to change sides, you did it as a front cross. The reason it's called a front cross is because you cross facing your dog. So I suppose you could call it a face cross or a look cross, front cross. So imagine your dog is going over this jump and they're coming back on yourselves, which we did in the last video. Actually, we did it on that wing, so let me show you there. The dog is coming. Now, they've started on my right arm. I want them to finish on my left arm. This is when I'm going to put in my front cross. And how it works is as the dog goes over, I change my body, but the whole time I'm connected because I'm looking at my dog. I'm doing it all in front of the dog. So I could even do it like this, where I come quite at an angle, turn and pick up. Let me show you a very dramatic front cross in the sense that I'm going to turn completely to go that way. So my dog is coming on this arm, they come over the jump. As they're going around, I switch my body, I turn, I'm now on this arm and I lead away. We can do it on the other side. Dog comes, they go around, I turn, I lead away. You can practice these on the flat with your dog, certainly. And I have done that in the past with my dogs. But now that I've got the directional cues and I'm adding them in early so they know what they're doing, in actual fact I prefer to do it on a wing. Mainly because when you're doing it on the flat, it can be a little bit scary if you've got a fast dog, and that can make you, if they're just charging at you and you try and change sides, you really have to think what you're doing, you have to do it fast. Whereas when they're on a wing, you can take a little bit more time over it, and that gives you a chance to process it. Because when you're learning this move, it doesn't come naturally. And you get, oh, what am I doing? Where are my feet going? So the basic gist is, dog goes over, you turn into them. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to do. And basically, because for me, handling is less important than the verbal, it is there and it is going to happen. But generally what I do is I teach it on the fly, if you like. It's just an addition that they have. It is not something that I need to make a big deal of it, because as long as they've got the verbal, they know what they're doing, I can do my little bit of handling and it will work out fine. I might just have to make sure they collect on the correct side. That's probably the only thing. But honestly, on a front cross, it's usually easier than, say, a blind cross. Hands are freed up, except this has got the reward in it. Now, what I'm going to do, because I've got the reward here, and I want them to pick up on the opposite side, my reward is going to be in the hand I want them to pick up on. It's just a subtle way of getting them to learn. When she changes, I come in on this side. So, we're starting on the right. I go loop, loop, loop. I turn, drop. Easy. Do it over on this side. Check, 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 check. Good girl. Okay, so let's try and make it a little bit more dramatic. So maybe I'm coming like this, so it's quite an angle. Okay, loop, 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 turn. Had it in the wrong hand, did it. But you see how simply and easily I've added that in. Let me show you with Magpie, and I never actually taught Magpie formally front crosses. I just taught them based on what I've just shown you. So, showing with a less experienced dog. Okay, ready? Loop, loop, loop. Boom. Down. That is how I teach my front crosses. No real faff. Because I'm relying on my verbals more, I don't have to think too hard about my handling so much. I just have to think that I'm changing sides and not overdo it, because I don't have to worry that my dog is watching my handling. Good girl. So that is really straightforward, isn't it? So that is how you're going to add in your front crosses, and over the course of these videos we'll develop them in different ways, but that's how you add in your beginning front crosses. I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video, and if you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you click the bell icon, you'll get notification when new videos are coming out. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon.